We love ourselves as God loves us. A love that's hard for our human minds to imagine, because we haven't generally experienced it with our caregivers or parents or guardians, unless your parents were Jesus and Buddha, or there you go, a sort of progressive gay couple from 2,000 years ago, Jesus and Buddha, and they're just showering unconditional love on their children. I'm assuming that's not you, so this is something we have to uncover, we have to discover for ourselves. We can't rely upon memories when we're 6 months old or 2 years old, because our parents, of course, were human beings who most likely had not learnt to entirely love their humanity. And so we experienced the withdrawal of love. We experienced love being taken away when we weren't a good boy, when we weren't a good girl, if we cried, or if, however wonderful our parents were, however extraordinarily spacious their heart and wise their parenting, we experienced the withdrawal of love at some point, and that hurts. It hurts. So as grown-ups, we have to learn, we have to teach ourselves to bring this love, to give this love, make this love unbroken, make this love of our own being, our own humanity, unconditional. Treating it much as we might a relationship with another human being. I don't profess to be an expert in this area, but my understanding is they require work. They require ongoing attention. They require dialogue, inquiry, sensitivity to what's coming up, to what's causing the breakdown in communication or the lack of miracle in the moment. And so this finding the divinity in our humanity is requiring of this commitment again and again to come back to this marriage, this holy relationship, this wholeness with our own being. Giving the unconditional acceptance, approval, allowing love of every single part of our being, everything that shows up, everything we perceive, everything we see that is us, everything that we imagine is me, is requiring this love, is inviting this love. A total yes. A complete yes. Yes, 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 yes. How wonderful. That's to remind us to love. Thank you. We haven't had any dumbbells crashing. We seem to. That was going to be a spontaneous part of the teaching, but.
That's a miracle.
They're all in there, like holding them up. I shared with Patty earlier a favourite quote of Master Hakuin, a Zen master, that speaks of a moment's meditation in the marketplace, in the busyness of life, being worth 1,000 hours of zazen on sesshin, on retreat. And much in the same way, a moment's total acceptance of that which is unacceptable in us. A moment's total radical love for our whole being, warts and all, imperfections, foibles, idiosyncrasies, unenlightenedness in all. Just a moment of complete, unconditional yes to our being. Especially powerful in those moments where we may be caught up in resistance, we may be caught up in a voice that would say we are not enough, or we may have done something that the mind would think, that really proves it. Yeah, I've tried the self-love thing, but wow, not now. I mean, the way I spoke to that guy at the petrol station, I keep referring to this imaginary cashier at the petrol station. I haven't actually had any experiences with anyone.
I asked you what this story was.
I think it's some past life material, I'm really not sure. Nothing recent that I can recall. Maybe it's a prophecy. I'm going to be challenged by a cashier at a petrol station. I'll keep my eye out. So to bring this love, to bring this radical yes, to bring this embrace to that which is seemingly difficult to embrace. You know, if we're just lying around at home and we're doing a self-love meditation, then it's a little bit easier perhaps to drop into that acceptance and love. But maybe when we're caught up in a darkness, in a pattern, in a confusion, these are those opportunities, these are the callings, the yellings out from within now to bring love to this. I'm going to love myself now, I'm going to love this now, just because I am, just because I am, just because I am. Such a simple, and yet such a powerful choice. Such a powerful choice. We're all so busy. And my suggestion is to put it at the top of the to-do list, and at the bottom, and maybe squeeze it somewhere in the middle as well. No excuse for forgetting. Except there is an excuse for forgetting. So even if you put it 3 times on the to-do list, even if I put it 3 times on my to-do list and there's a moment of judgment, there's an excuse. Forgive me, Father, for I did not know. In that moment of forgetting, there's total forgiveness. So we're relentless, coming back again and again, closing that loop, closing that circle. There's no way out. Nothing that can be said, nothing that can be done. No old wound that should have healed by now or should have been transmuted by now. Nothing that would deter this loving. Nothing that is unworthy of this love. Truly nothing. Nothing that is unworthy of this love. We imagined it was something that was unworthy, and yet, in truth, there's nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing there. That idea of me, the bad guy, there's nothing there. It's just a little floating nothingness. It can seem so convincing. We can be like the most slick lawyer. I saw this huge, we don't have this in anywhere else actually. The side of the road there was this huge billboard with 2 very well-dressed looking gentlemen. Apparently they're the best in Knoxville. And voted Knoxville's best. It didn't say quite what democratic process led to this decision being made, but you know, it was persuasive, as you'd hope, from lawyers. And we have this slick lawyer inside us, right? This slick lawyer that would try us and attempt to convince of the sinful nature or the criminality, our inherent criminality. And in this loving, in this like an air conditioning, always blowing. We see it disappear. We see it disappear. We see that character, the slick lawyer, never really existed in truth. It was just a little whiff of nothingness arising in the presence we are. So be willing to have silence in court. Be willing to be the judge of our consciousness, to be the one who gets to call the shots, who gets to call the shots, and say no, enough. I fancy a multiple miracle now. I'm going to bring this. And to bring this is simply to bring this. Nothing more exotic or esoteric or mysterious or far off than this. This very awareness. This presence. This being. It's always here. Have you noticed? This noticing, this seeing, always here. No matter how much noise is being made in the mind, no matter how much pain is being felt in the heart, always arising in this awareness. Tiredness, excitement, despair, joy, peace, clarity, confusion, all arising in and falling back into this awareness, this seeing, this that is aware, this that is aware of hearing, this that is aware of itself. So in this way we can see that whatever is happening, whatever is arising, whether it be a sensation or a pain or a confusion or a sense object or an emotion, a feeling, whatever is happening, we can relax knowing that it's safely held, coming from and returning to the stillness of our being, the silence of our presence. I found it to be pretty reliable. I can believe that it's not, but in experience I have found it to be 100% reliable. Whenever I look for it, as if it were an it, there it is, as I am. The moment we look for it, we've lost it, as it were. Because it's not an it. It's that which is looking. The moment we think of it, we've lost it, as it were, if that were possible. Because it's not in thought. It's that which thought is arising within. It's quite cleverly set up, isn't it? Anyone would think that God's got a sense of humour. Where shall I hide that enlightenment? Where shall I hide that realization? I know, they'll never look there. That'll take a few millennia. Maybe stretch out into eternity. What fun. If I hide myself right here, as they are, they may not notice I'm here. And then I get to have the joyful experience of noticing myself. Yep, that'll keep me busy for eternity. So this commitment. I'm in a committed relationship. Have been for a while. It doesn't involve anyone else. Just me, myself, and God, we could say. It's going quite well. It has its rocky patches, but we work through it. There's a commitment to see it through to the end. I've tried spending time apart, but it just doesn't work. I had a trial separation once, but and so this experience of separation, this experience of being apart from love, we could see it as a trial in two senses, that it's a temporary experience. We're just trying it out in order to deepen the recognition of the truth of our union. And it's a trial in the sense of a trial sent to us, a challenge, a little game we've set up to bring ourselves back to the union that we are, to bring ourselves back to the unitive being. So this ultimate humanity, this core element of our humanity that kind of arises when we have a body. We sort of naturally think that we're separate because we look out of our eyes and we see all these other bodies around, and it seems very convincing that there's a whole lot